This is HLPatcher, my solution to Half-Life and other Valve games being broken on Mac. I originally wrote it in Bash for simplicity, but the project grew. New games got added, the codebase got messier, and eventually Bash started holding me back. This means only one thing. The problems have been piling up. 4 games are already waiting to be added. You can't patch everything in one go, you have to run the patcher twice. The UI is even worse, it feels like a police interrogation just to start patching. You can't choose which detected games to patch, and once it's running, you are staring at a terminal window with minimal feedback. Bash and AppleScript weren't built for full-scale applications. They are automation tools. It's time to move on. I decided to rewrite it in Python. It's the language I know best. It's not a perfect choice. The Python version bundled with Xcode CLI tools is outdated. Besides that, the built-in UI library looks ancient. But both problems are solvable. Libraries like custom TKInter give you a modern-looking interface without much friction. After a few days of work, here it is. HLPatcher is now running on Python. The interrogation style setup is gone. I merged everything down into one clean flow. There's one caveat though. TKInter, the library handling the UI under the hood, has a bug that makes the window unresponsive. You might click a button and nothing happens until you move the window. It's not something I can fix. TKInter is part of Python itself, so the only option was to leave a note on the welcome page explaining the workaround. On the new games front, I started with Portal. The implementation is very similar to Half-Life 2, with one difference. Portal has no Steam Legacy branch, so we use beta instead. Skipping this step causes the same graphical artifacts as in Half-Life 2. For implementation details, check the previous video. As for Portal's performance, it's solid. I was getting a stable 60 FPS on high settings with occasional dips to around 30. Completely playable. In fact, during testing, I ended up beating the whole game on a touchpad. Not the most comfortable experience, but the game isn't particularly hard. More importantly, I didn't run into any graphical or gameplay bugs throughout. Next up was Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, and that's where things fell apart. On the Steam Legacy branch, it builds and launches, then sits on a black screen. Apparently some VGUI materials are missing. On other branches, the launch script and binary are gone. Valve removed them for some unknown reason. Providing your own circles right back to the black screen. And to top it off, Steam itself points to a Windows executable on macOS that doesn't even exist. Counter-Strike source and the Day of Defeat source are in a similar state. Getting this working would take serious effort, so they'll have to wait. Back to the patcher itself, I also shipped some quality of life improvements. The source engine dependency script used to randomly time out and exit with an error. Now it automatically retries instead of failing. I also added disk space and time estimations so users know what they are getting into. Automatic update checks make sure you're always running the latest patches. And finally, for my own sanity, debug mode. It disables automatic cleanups and shows detailed logs, night and day for tracking down issues. Alright, let me show off the new HLPatcher. First up is the welcome page. It's mostly unchanged, just with the TKInter warning added. Next, you pick your Steam library folder. It defaults to the Steam apps directory. Then you choose which detected games to patch. All selected by default, with already patched games grayed out. After that comes what used to be the police interrogation. Now merged into a single screen where you pick the patching mode and whether to create a backup. Next is a quick branch downgrade guide, and then you're off. Instead of staring at a terminal window, you now get a progress bar with an estimated completion. Once it's done, a completion screen tells you what to do if macOS blocks SDL2.framework on first launch. There are also dedicated screens for when no games are found, when patching fails, and when an update is available. The project also needed to mature a bit. It had no homepage. Users were sent straight to the GitHub repo, which isn't exactly welcoming if you don't live on GitHub. So I set up a page using mkdocs. It's a static site generator that turns markdown files into a proper HTML site. I already used it for another project, it's easy to set up and looks good. The site now has a homepage, a getting started guide, a patches removal guide, and a contributing guide. It also deploys automatically to GitHub pages on any change with a simple workflow. The other missing piece was regression prevention. Right now, any change could silently break an existing feature. If it slips through pre-release testing, users get a broken update. To fix that, I added tests using PyTest. They run automatically on every change via a workflow. Any failure gets flagged directly on the commit. The release workflow also checks whether tests passed. If they haven't, publishing a new version via the workflow is blocked entirely. Honestly, I didn't expect this project to come this far. It started as a scrappy bash script supporting just a few games. Now it's a proper Python application with real UI, doc-side automated tests, and support for 12 games. That said, it's not finished. A few games are still in a broken state. The TK Enter bug is still there, and there are Valve games we don't even know how to patch yet. But the foundation is solid. HLPatcher is in a good place now, and ready for whatever comes next. At this point, I also want to thank the Flying with Gas team, Velaron, and Niller user. Without their work, HLPatcher wouldn't exist. If you want to get those classics working again, the link to the patcher is in the description. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, subscribe, it means a lot to me. And check out this video, you might like it.